welcome back. This is the 7th episode of Outdoo Coaching Room, where we break down what's actually happening inside the customer-facing teams and what is actually driving performance. And in this one, I want to do something a little more practical. If you're evaluating a sales training or a coaching software in 2026, there are a lot of options, a lot of features, and honestly, a lot of noise. So in this video, we are going to break down how to actually evaluate these tools, what most platforms get wrong, and 10 tools you should be looking at. If you're looking at the best sales training software in 2026, the biggest mistake teams make is choosing based on demos, because most tools look good in the demo, but they don't actually change how their reps sell, and that's the only thing that actually matters. So before we get into the tools, let's quickly align on what actually matters, because this is where most teams go wrong. You don't need more dashboards, more analytics, and more reports, right? What you actually need is a system that helps reps practice real conversations, connects practice to the real calls, and reinforces the behavior over time. So as we go through these tools, that's the lens we are going to use. Let's start with Outdoo, and I'll walk you through this properly because it represents where this category is heading.
So the first thing that you notice when you're inside the Outdoo platform is your team statistics on your homepage. So I see that my team has performed over 43 role plays over last 1 month, and 2 of my team members need help. I could of course double click on them and then figure out who those 2 members are and where do they actually need help. But before that, let's just quickly create a role play agent. For this demo, I'll just switch my workspace. I can create a role play agent by clicking on create a role play agent on my home screen, or I could go to the roleplay agent page and then click on this button on the top right and select create single agent. Once you have done that, you can create a roleplay agent by either entering a prompt about the buyer, their concerns, what are they looking from the call, or you could upload an existing call if you have from your revenue intelligence tool, or you could just copy paste the LinkedIn profile of the buyer, right? Let me just select a default prompt for now, and then select the scenario, the buyer is aware of the prompt, right? And just hit enter. So the roleplay agent will be created in few seconds, right? So I see that the agent is all ready. I could of course go ahead and customize the roleplay type, whether I want it to be in chat mode or video mode. I could also add a gatekeeper. Sometimes the buyer is not readily available and you need to go through an operator or a PA or a receptionist, right? So you can go ahead and do that as well. You could of course go and customize the voice, the language, the interests of the buyer. You could create custom behaviors like whether they are skeptical or they are very analytical or they open up slowly and so on, by customizing one of those 20 parameters that we have, right? After entering the company offerings, what they are engaged in, you could define the key priorities, key objections, key concerns, and finally select a scorecard, right? So your team will be evaluated on this scorecard. They will be judged instantly on the basis of the coaching points that you have added, right? And they will be given recommendations, and it will all follow the sales process, the sales playbook that you're following. Once you have done that, you can just save and then proceed. Of course, changing so many parameters, I understand, can get really, really difficult, right? So to simplify the process, we have also created a fine-tune agent, right? Here you could just mention the point that you want to change, and the fine-tune agent will automatically configure the settings for you, right? So let me just add an objection that budget is not available for this month, right? So the fine-tune agent will quickly figure out, what is the change that I want to make, right? And just configure the things really quickly, right? So if I go to the buyer objections, I can see this point is already added, right? I can go ahead and publish the roleplay agent now, and that's it. The agent is all set. You can share it with your team, add it to a folder, add it to a course, and publish it on your LMS. You can also add it to Call Blitz, which is a call drill format, right? Let us quickly just do a 1-minute test call with this roleplay agent, right? To do that, you just need to click on Start Call.
Hello?
Hi, Kathy. Is this a good time to talk?
Who's calling?
Yeah, so this is John here from Acme. We have been helping companies similar to yours to improve their forecasting. Is that something in your radar this quarter?
Forecasting, huh? Yeah, we're always looking at that. What exactly are you offering?
So we have a bunch of AI agents which look at your call data, dialer data, conversation data, CRM data, and then put it all together and then analyze it to figure out whether the deal will close or not, right? So this is way better than manual surveys with your team, right? Is this something interesting?
Okay, so AI analyzing our data to predict deal closure. I mean, sure, sounds interesting in theory, but how accurate is this thing really? And what's the implementation look like? I'm guessing it's not just plug and play.
It is quite plug and play. We have all the integrations in place, but when you do surveys and all, the accuracy is generally found to be around 60%. But with AI agents and automatic process, the accuracy improves to 90%. Right, so that's crazy improvement in accuracy. Also, the implementation probably takes around 2 weeks since all the integrations are all ready. Right, happy to show you maybe in a demo next week. Can we book Monday 11 a.m.?
90% accuracy does sound pretty solid. I'll give you that. In 2 weeks isn't terrible. But here's the thing. I need to understand the cost first.
Okay.
What's the investment? And also, what kind of ongoing support do you provide once it's live?
Yeah, so we can discuss the investment in the demo call. Our team will be always there for you. So we'll be providing a dedicated account manager. We'll be having SLAs in place so that the entire uptime and everything is taken care of. So you need not worry on it.
All right, so you're dodging the pricing question. Classic sales move. Look, I'm not blocking out time on my calendar without at least a ballpark figure.
Okay.
Are we talking 5 figures? 6 figures? And honestly, budget's tight this month anyway.
Okay.
What's the rush for Monday?
Okay, so we can maybe start, we can do a pilot for 5 figures. And I think, again, the specifics of the prices can be discussed on the call.
5 figures for a pilot? Okay, that's something. But you still haven't told me why. Monday specifically. I've got a packed week. And frankly, I need to see if this even aligns with our current priorities before I commit to a demo.
Sure.
What happens if we push it to later in the month?
Totally fine. So maybe 29th this month. Does that work for you?
29th could work. But before I lock that in, send me something over email. Case studies, ROI data, whatever you've got that shows this actually delivers on pipeline generation and forecasting improvement for companies like ours. I want to review it first before we jump on a call. What's your email?
Yeah, so my email is abc@acme.com, and I'll share across case study, the latest case studies and an ROI study report that we have done recently. Okay, awesome. Sounds good, Kathy.
All right, send that over and I'll take a look. Talk on the 29th if it makes sense.
Perfect.
Thanks, John.
Thanks, Kathy. Have a good day. So that was our roleplay call. You could, of course, go ahead and find the agent to make it as realistic as possible. Scorecard is also now ready. And it's not a generic scorecard. It highlights specific points where I could have maybe handled the objection better or asked a question better. You can, of course, share this call with your team or add it to a coaching library. Now, let's just see how this connects to the real calls scenario, right? So to do that, I'll just again switch my workspace, go to the revenue intelligence module of Outdoo. So I can just take a look at the scorecard on how I have performed in actual call, and then basically see if the practice in role plays during onboarding is translating into the real world in actual calls. You could, of course, look at the strengths and weaknesses and then feed it back to the AI role plays and continuously improve on your weaknesses or double down on your strengths as you move forward. Let me just show you how you can create a role play agent from an existing call. To do that, you need to click on create role play agent and then click on continue, and you'll be directed to your AI roleplay module where you can just click on confirm and then quickly create the roleplay agent. So that's it. So that's how you can do the closed loop coaching, where you're able to connect the practice in your onboarding using role plays to the actual calls.
Tools like Gong are probably the most widely used in this space, and they are really strong at one thing: understanding what's happening in real calls. You get visibility into conversations at scale. They are what top reps are doing differently, whether deals are stuck, what objections come up more often, and that's extremely valuable. But there is still a limitation. They operate after the fact. They tell you what happened. They don't actually tell what happens next. So if you are looking for visibility and analysis, they are great. But if your goal is improving behavior, you need something beyond just a conversation intelligence. Mindtickle is more on the traditional enablement side. It's built around structured training, certifications, assessments, content delivery. So if you're onboarding reps or rolling out a new messaging, it works well. It gives you control, it gives you consistency. But the challenge is it doesn't follow a learn first, apply later model. And that gap between is where most teams struggle. So strong for training, but less focused on what happens inside the real conversations. Allego sits somewhere between training and content management. It's useful for teams that need to distribute knowledge, share best practices, capture examples, align async learning, which helps especially for distributed teams. But again, the focus is more on content, less on active practice. So reps are still consuming more than what they are actually applying, and that limits how quickly the behavior changes. Lessonly from Seismic is one of the more well-known tools for onboarding. It's very structured, clear learning paths, simple UI, easy to roll out across teams. So if your goal is getting reps up to speed on product and messaging, but it does that well. But again, it's primarily built around learning, not on real-time execution. So reps may understand what to do, but they still struggle when they are actually on a call. SecondNature is interesting because it moves closer to realistic practice with AI-based role plays. So reps can simulate conversations, which is definitely a step forward compared to static learning. But the limitation is usually around the depth and the connection, how realistic the simulations are, how customizable they are, and how well the practice connects back to the real performance, and how the coaching is very generic and not specific to your coaching playbooks. So good directionally, but still evolving in terms of closing the final loop. There are also tools that focus on performance tracking and coaching insights. They'll give you dashboard around rep performance, forecasting, pipeline metrics, coaching recommendations, which is useful from a leadership perspective. But again, they don't directly influence the behavior. They help you understand performance, but not necessarily improve it in the moment. SalesHood focuses on alignment. Across messaging, content, coaching, it helps them stay consistent, especially when you're rolling out new initiatives. Training across regions. But very similar patterns. It leans towards enablement workflows and less towards realistic, repeated practice. So strong for coordination, less strong for behavior change. Showpad Coach combines training and coaching with content, video practice, and feedback. It's more interactive than traditional tools, which is a step forward, but still a lot of experience is very structured, right? And it doesn't fully replicate the unpredictability of real conversations. So rep improve, but not always in situations that actually matter. Brainshark is focused more on training delivery, video-based coaching, content tracking, and rep readiness. It is useful for ensuring reps go through material and understand it. But again, the core model: consume, understand, and then apply. And the delay is where performance gaps usually show up. So if you look across all these, the difference becomes pretty clear. Most tools focus on learning or analysis, but very few actually connect practice, performance, coaching, and that's the gap. And honestly, after looking at this space closely, that's the question I would focus on. Not which tool has the most features, but which system improves behavior, because that's what drives performance. So if I were evaluating tools today, I would look for something that brings all of this together. Practice, real conversations, coaching, all in one loop. And that's exactly what we are building with Outdoo. Because at the end of the day, if your reps aren't performing on real calls, it doesn't actually matter how good the tool looks.
If this resonated, please subscribe. And if you want to see what it actually looks like in practice, go and check out our playground, and the link is in the description below.